All right, everyone, and it is that time. It is that time once again on a Saturday for Maryland's Cafe Society radio show right here on YouTube. Of course, today is Saturday, October 3rd, 2020. It is National Play Outside Day. So make sure you go outside today and have a little fun, or at least try, and of course, practice social distancing and wear your mask. It's also Walk a Mile in Her Shoes Day. Yeah, now that one's tied to National Domestic Violence Awareness Month. And of course, the play on the words "Walk a Mile in Her Shoes" is about the woman and violence against women. And so what happens is across the country, I guess a lot of men and or women organize events that allow men to actually walk in a woman's shoes, preferably heels, as a fundraiser, and of course to raise awareness against domestic violence or violence in general against women. All right. And so interesting enough, it's also the first full week of October, starting Sunday or Monday, depending on which day you prefer to start your week with, but it's going to be National Work from Home Week. Isn't that funny? Work from Home Week, which of course ties us to, and that whole concept, as we talked about, was something that wasn't very popular prior to this COVID. And so that brings us to our Cafe Talk question, which I've already put out there via some of my contacts. And it is, are you working from home? And if you are, how's that working out for you? And I ask because I have heard some complaints, but I did hit up some new people to find out if they're working from home and what that experience has been like for them. And so we'll talk about it a bit later on in the show. But for now, we're going to get into some cafe news. And just FYI, in case this video looks different, I am using a different device today. So we'll cross our fingers and hope that it looks okay. Of course, I welcome your feedback too. So starting with the coronavirus update, there's now just under 35 million cases being reported worldwide, about 1,034,697 deaths worldwide, and 26 million have recovered. Here in the United States, we're still in the lead with a little more than 7.5 million cases, some 615,000 deaths, and over 4.7 million have recovered. Now, India, Brazil, Russia, and now Colombia round out the top 5 countries with the most coronavirus cases. All right, and of course, we've heard the sad news coming from the White House on yesterday, which was Friday, that President Trump was flown to Walter Reed National Military Medical Center last night for observation after testing positive for COVID-19. Reportedly, he'll spend a few days there working out of the military hospital's presidential suite. According to his doctor, they're saying that he has been injected with an experimental antibody cocktail to fight the virus. Now, the good news is that 2 other world leaders have overcome this COVID-19, and that includes British Prime Minister Boris Johnson, as well as the president of Brazil, Jair Bolsonaro. And by the way, Melania Trump has also tested positive, but remains at the White House, and other top White House staffers are testing positive. And again, for some that positive test means that they have it, but they may be asymptomatic, and but they can still pass it on to others. And or it also means that they have it, they've tested positive, they have it, and they may be experiencing mild symptoms or um, you know, more serious symptoms. So we'll keep an eye on that story and, of course, keep you updated. And other COVID related news, the United States Labor Department is reporting some 837,000 Americans filed for unemployment benefits in the past week. And unfortunately, some big corporate names announced just this week some drastic reductions to their workforces. And we'll, of course, take a closer look at that in a bit. As for the stimulus, well, the Senate Republicans have gone on record saying that the latest $2.2 trillion stimulus bill that was presented by the House Democrats early this week is still too much. They don't want to bend on their I think it was 1.2 million, 1.4, I'm sorry, 1.2 trillion or $1.4 trillion package that they presented a couple of weeks ago. Now, it looks to me like the Democrats are, coming down from their number, which I think initially was 4 trillion, and they're down to 2.2 trillion. Now, House Speaker Nancy Pelosi did say on yesterday that the House remains optimistic that this bill may in fact go through. So we'll keep an eye again and stay tuned on that story. Another business briefs, well, Ford's chief financial officer left the company on the same day that the new CEO, Jim Farley, started his job. Google will pay publishers more than $1 billion over the next 3 years for their news content. And Gap is taking its seasonal hiring process online. H&M will permanently close 250 stores, or about 5% of its current count. Looking at the stock market as of the close on yesterday, the Dow is down a negative 0.48% to 27,682.81. The S&P 500 is also down a negative 0.96% to 3,348.44, and the NASDAQ dropped minus 2.22% to 11,775.02. All right, and of course, the stock market was drastically affected by the announcement of the president having the novel coronavirus. And I guess when it was first announced, it had a negative effect. And I guess late last night, early this morning, things look a bit better. All right, taking a look at gold. Gold is down $8.70 to $1,907.60 per ounce. Oil is also down $1.67 to $37.05 per barrel. Now, again, we're watching the stock market, of course, as the president and various leaders from Congress and the Senate make announcements. It does, to some degree, have an effect on the stock market. So we'll watch it and see how things bounce back. All right. Well, are you ready for some entertainment news? Well, it's brief, but here it is. Hollywood has now become Babywood. Yeah, did you see the headlines this week? My goodness, everybody had a baby. Now, sadly, as John Legend and Chrissy Teigen announced the morning of the loss of their baby, Kevin Hart and his wife welcomed their new baby girl, as did Usher and his girlfriend. They also had a baby girl this week. Donald Glover and his girlfriend welcomed a baby boy, and Nicki Minaj gave birth to her baby also on Wednesday. It's her and her husband's first child together. So congratulations to all of those who have brought new life into the world. And of course, We send condolences out to John Legend and Chrissy Teigen. Um, and I was counting back 9 months, and all of these pregnancies apparently happened prior to the COVID-19 pandemic. So, we were kind of predicting that perhaps uh, November, December, we may see a baby boom. But looks like October ushered in a baby boom as well. Maybe, that was some Valentine's Day love or something. I don't know. All right, let's get into some passion for fashion. Listen up, people. You may want to take advantage of this. Now, it looks like Stitch Fix and Harlem's Fashion Row launched a grant program called Elevate to support 5 Black-owned brands. Now, in addition to passing out the $25,000 checks to the winners, Stitch Fix secret algorithm will also advise each brand on product market fit. At the end of the 8-month mentorship program, Stitch Fix will place wholesale orders for each brand, and brands picked for the program will be exposed to millions of potential consumers with items they'll actually wear. All right. And that's what Stitch Fix is all about. It's an online business that offers personal styling for any and everyone. So check it out when you get a chance. All right, and so we're getting back to our cafe talk now. Guys, we talked about this work from home situation quite a bit since the pandemic happened. And according to an August survey of 25,000 professionals by a Stanford University economics professor, who of course specializes in distributed employment, 35% of current full-time United States workers are still working remotely compared to just 2% prior to the pandemic. Now, remember, this work from home thing was not typically embraced by businesses prior to the pandemic. The whole concept of being in an office space, working together with others was, the way to go here in America. But many here in corporate America thought that this work from home situation was just going to be like a temporary fix, but it has now become a long-term reality with no end in sight for many. And of course, some employers and employees are just fine with that. However, there are a few problems or complaints that include, of course, struggling with the scheduling process across time zones for those big businesses that have people working all around the world or the country here in the United States. And then, of course, there's that concern about screen or Zoom fatigue. And so, they're trying to manage that as well so that they don't burn the workers out. And of course, those parents who happen to be juggling work from home with the homeschooling or home school monitoring of their children during this pandemic is another problem or concern that they have. And so again, the cafe talk question is, do you or are you working from home? And if so, how are things working out for you? Now, as I've been reporting in the last couple of months or so, I've bumped into people who are now working from home, and most of them love it, but some of them have reported that they're having computer issues, and when they were in the office, if the system went down, there was no problem. You had other things to do, or you just kind of hang around and waited for the system to come back up. You were still paid. But now that folks are working from home, there have been complaints about when the system goes down, they're taken off the clock. And that's caused a lot of problems for people. And then, of course, when the system comes back up, they're put back on the clock, or if half the day goes by and the system stays down, it's like a half day absent. And so that has been a big problem and concern for some people. Now, let's go to some responses to see what people are saying regarding this question that we put out there earlier. Again, I reached out to a new set of people and presented this question to them. So let's see what some of the responses are. No, I'm not working from home. Not working from home. I'm an essential worker. I'm an essential worker. Let's see. I wish I was working from home. Okay. No, not working from home. No, not working from home. All right, so those are some of the responses that I have so far. And, again, it's just something for you to think about too, as I continue to play around with the technology and I'm able to put folks on the show to pose this question. Of course, we'll get some live feedback and so forth. But yeah, just think about that question. If you are working from home, how are things working out? Are some of those issues that I just shared with you some of the issues that you're dealing with, or has it been a smooth transition and everything is working just fine? I'd love to hear your thoughts. So even, after the show, if you want to comment on any of my social media platforms, feel free to do so. Or if you, just want to shoot out an email, that will work as well. So we're in the month of October, and so this month will be our first Christmas giveaway, our countdown to Christmas giveaway. Remember, every month, around the 25th of every month, we'll be blessing a family or helping a family, as well as just presenting a prize to our viewer or listener. So if you want to be in consideration for the prize, or if you know of a family, we have some resources where we are identifying families. But if you know of a family that you want to, nominate to receive a blessing for the holiday, particularly during this pandemic period that we're experiencing, shoot an email to us with that family's name and contact information. Or again, if you just want to be considered for a prize, we'll be doing two things there. If you want to be considered for a prize, shoot an email to producer@MarylandsCafeSociety.com, producer@MarylandsCafeSociety.com. And of course, we will put your name in the hat, so to speak. And also, if you're a business, remember, business, service, product, book, music, whatever you have that you want to get some additional exposure for, reach out to producer at Maryland's Cafe Society. And we can tie you into this Christmas giveaway promotion that we're doing, or we can do something totally different with you. Just shoot an email and let us know. All right. All right. So remember to check out Maryland's Cafe Society on social media. We're on Twitter at Maryland's Cafe Social, Facebook, Maryland's Cafe Society, the website, Maryland'sCafeSociety.com, of course, the blog. This past week, we did the vlog. It was a video blog, and it was a little heavy. So check it out if you hadn't had an opportunity to check it. We talked about some serious things that are going on in the world, and of course, I think that we need to come together as a community, a Black community, and a human community to address some of those issues. So if you haven't seen the vlog, go to WordPress, Maryland's Cafe Society on WordPress, to check that out. Of course, you can always find me right here on YouTube, Maryland's Cafe Society. Let's get to what love is. Love is still smitten after all these years. Still smitten after all these years. All right. All right. Well, that's all I have, everybody. I know it seems like I'm always rushing around. That's because I'm a one-man band and I try to make it all happen all by myself. Well, not really. I do have some folks who are helping me out here and there with some things. And of course, the big thing is getting the technology figured out. And, I've upgraded some things. And so some aspects of technology should be easier now to just working it in to the show and maybe doing some test runs. All right. All right. Anything else? Anything else? I think that's it. So remember, if you don't do anything else this week, be sure that you live, you laugh, and you love. And as always, it's a pleasure and a privilege to spend this time with you on Saturdays and throughout the week. And of course, we'll get back together during the blog next week. And of course, here on the YouTube next Saturday. All right. Be safe, everybody. Peace.